Good morning, everybody. Just a quick note from me today. I found a good spot to sit just for a moment. I try and be aware this time of year of where I go because, the snakes are out. Um, and this is their home. I'm in their home. So my goal is really to be as respectful as I can be to all of nature when I come out here. Anyhow, just want to show you a view of my spot. I don't love this spot, but it's by the river, so I like to come down there. Um, let's see here. I wanted to do a talk on I guess the dynamic of this personal me and with non-dualism, pointing out those dynamics. It's a core and fundamental aspect to deconstruction, because as soon as we become aware of our dynamics and they become clear to us, then they begin to dissolve back into kind of their nature from which they came from. So a deep, true inner recognition of your, self, capital S, predominantly results in this deconstruction. And there's this mistaken idea that it's like a one-stop shop, that no self is recognized and then like all the problems go away, everything gets better, and you just go along your merry enlightened way. Totally not what happens. Actually, what ends up happening is things get a lot more intense before they get better, if you can even call it better, because nothing really is getting better or worse, and nothing actually really changes. But what does change is the claiming of what's happening and the idea that that belongs to you or that it belongs to anyone. So while life goes on as it's always gone on, and what's happening is always what's happening, neither good nor bad, there's no longer that energetic sense that I am responsible for life. Life is happening to me. Okay? And that's not to say that dynamics like blaming, shaming, behavioral patterns resulting from deeper traumas don't occur, because, that we have something called cellular memory, and these bodies remember everything that they've ever gone through, from the history of it, of that energetic point. So consciousness does something very interesting when it comes into the mix, when that awareness comes into the mix, because that non-claiming, that no self, okay, that no self that is deeply recognized, starts to kind of like release and let go of these power plays, of these delusionary ideas that, that it's important, that it has a mission and a goal, that it has any impact whatsoever. And I'm not saying that there's no personal responsibility. Very often when I make a mistake and I hurt someone else, for example, there's an immediate compassion there, or a desire to, love and apologize, even though these darker things sometimes do play out in their non harmonious ways. It's immediately recognized what's happening, right? There's what sounded like an animal, but it was a hiker. So what was I saying? Yes, it's recognized that something may have been out of balance or, not in harmony with its true nature. There's immediate recognition to that. And again, it might not be in the moment because there's this recycling of energy happening in the system oftentimes. And these patterns are strong. So it takes a lot of presence and a lot of awareness and a lot of being with oneself in order to allow these frequencies to kind of alchemize and shift into whatever counterpart is suitable for that process of transformation. But back to that no self, no claiming energy, it's very harmonious and very balanced. It doesn't sit there believing that it owns anything, that it can possess anything, that it has anything. If it's in a work relationship, in a romantic partnership, when things are going well, with health or creative endeavors or any kind of uh, you know, play that's coming out, there's no sense that that belongs to me or that that has to stay or that that is in any way my responsibility. So that's where the freedom comes in. Okay, that's the freedom, because everything is recognized as free. It can come and go as it pleases. And that's everything the me's avoiding. Like, it's everything it's trying to protest. So what a life it is, right? What a life it is to live in that deep inner knowing that everything is free and that nothing belongs to you. Right? What does that mean for you? How's that playing out for you? Because what I'm referencing is no center. And again, after that disorientation passes, that confusion, sometimes that deep inner grief, losing the world that you thought was real and that you thought belonged to you, once those collective universal energies of intense rage, grief, and chaos pass, or rather, again, transmute into these harmonious variations of themselves, this becomes free, consciously free. Okay, it's always free. It's always been free, but now it's consciously free. Totally different experience for something to be consciously free. Okay, the way you approach things, the way you offer yourself, the way you show up at the table, it shifts. It shifts when you're not holding on tightly. So let it be what it is. You don't own it. It doesn't belong to you. It can appear like that temporarily, that you have some influence on it, as long as that personal me's playing out. That mirror effect. People mirroring to you your traumas, your self-image, and all that. But when that starts to deconstruct, all that's being mirrored back to you is love. In all its messy, glorious, destructive, chaotic, crazy, and beautiful ways. All right, anyways, it's very nice to see everybody. Thank you for a nice little chat together. It's very meaningful for me to be here and to be able to express, my love to you and to have that deep connection together. So thank you, and yeah, may you enjoy the rest of your week. Hopefully, it's beautiful and flowery wherever you are too. Or if not, um, do your thing.